There are only two Disney movies that came out before I was born that I actually like. And today I'm going to talk about the one that inspired an entire generation of children to run away from home and live on the streets because it just made it look so fun. Oliver and Company. It's a modern tale on a classic story, Oliver Twist, and it's a story about an orphan cat who, he was left in a box with all of his litter, and every other cat was picked except him, and so now suddenly he meets this dog, Dodger, and he follows him home and joins the gang, and they try to steal stuff. And then there's a kid who adopts him, but then they kidnap him back from the kid and decide to put him up as ransom to the kid. And then the kid gets kidnapped, and there's a wild car chase, and then there's a train, and then everyone gets happy at the end. That's just a quick synopsis of the entire movie. This movie, like most of the movies that I watch, especially from the Disney company, is one that I watch just because I love the soundtrack more than I like the actual movie itself. This has so much amazing music from Huey Lewis, Bette Midler, and Billy Joel. I mean, the first 10 minutes of it alone are worth the entire film. But at the same time, there are also times when I don't even bother watching the entire thing because, they put the two best songs in the first 10 minutes of the film. And then it's like, okay, pop it in, just watch those first 10 minutes, then just go about my day. It is it's for the most part, they're pretty upbeat about the whole homelessness thing. Yeah, it's not like that in real life. It's not. It's not that much fun. These streets are not made of gold. They're made of pavement and broken glass bottles and being woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning by a freezing cold rain. It's not as much fun as they make it seem. Why should I worry? Why should I care? No, I may not have a dime, but I got street savoir-faire. But still, it's a fun movie, and it's also got the voice talents of, Cheech Marin, Dom DeLuise, who apparently is in every movie that involves animated dogs or cats. Anyways, it is one of the Disney classics, and a great soundtrack I feel really carries the film. The acting, it's pretty superb considering the fact that, most of the people aren't necessarily actors. Because as I mentioned, it's a lot of, I mentioned, Billy Joel plays one of the main guys, Dodger. Absolutely, though, it's a pretty good movie, and it's one that you can just kind of get sucked into and just you enjoy the ride. If you don't stop to think about it, you really enjoy the ride. I stopped to think about it though, and there were a few times where I'm just like, but I think this is what it is. It's a classic Disney film. It's very family friendly. Mostly family friendly, but if you really pay attention, there's a lot of shit going on in here that I really just never stopped to notice before. There was a rat smoking a cigar. What? There were a lot of cigars in this film. And by a lot, I mean like 5. But still, that's more than you'd see in most Disney movies. Then again, like I said, this is pretty old. But it's a pretty great story. It's like I said, great music which really carries the feature, and overall it's just if nothing but nostalgia alone, that enough it makes it an amazing movie. I don't know, if you've seen it before as a kid, then it's always worth revisiting, but it's hard to say any 20-year-old adult who's never seen the movie before is going to love it. I don't know if I can say that much. But definitely, for the sake of nostalgia alone, the soundtrack is still just as powerful and moving. It's still just as upbeat and exciting. It feels the same. It feels like a kid again, watching it for the first time every time I look at it. So, yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly. And actually, since I already know what's on the schedule, I don't know if I'm gonna upload this tonight, but But after I finish uploading this video that I'm recording right now, the video that I'm watching before I go to bed tonight, Anastasia. So look forward to that in the next day or so.